Your partner tries to throw that arm up over the top, they get interrupted. This, it doesn't matter so much where this arm is, because this arm is so deep. High wrist, we focus on the wrist position of this hand, often an anchor grip, and then a sag to finish the strangle. Today we're gonna look at the difference between the high wrist and the high elbow guillotine. They're similar, but they're not exactly the same. Let's take a look at what makes them different. Well, from any situation where we're able to bring our partner's head down, okay, and let's say that we heist up and we land in a position like this, the front headlock. When people talk about doing a high elbow guillotine, the focus is on your right hand here being anywhere, like it can just cover the carotid with the thumb here. Okay, it doesn't have to be super deep. Sometimes people like to go really deep with the elbow pointed towards the floor. But what characterizes a high elbow guillotine is the position of this elbow. And the idea is that this elbow travels high in order to pull the strangle arm up. Okay, it prevents us from the bad habit of keeping our hand low and trying to finish a guillotine here. So when you do a high elbow guillotine, your focus is on locking your hands and bringing your elbow up high. It helps to make the strangle hand travel. The other thing it stops him from doing is throwing his arm over my shoulder, which keeps this hand down. So if he gets his arm up over my shoulder here and I try to lift this hand, it's very difficult. So when you hit a high elbow guillotine and your partner tries to throw that arm up over the top, they get interrupted. And now from here, you can sit back, keep your head over your partner's shoulders, and then that's the high elbow. The high wrist is a little different, done by my friend Gordon Ryan. It keeps this hand high, but the emphasis is not on the left arm rising, but rather on the position of the knuckles of this hand. So whenever we hit a high wrist guillotine, our emphasis is on getting our strangle arm all the way through so that the knuckles rest above our partner's shoulder line. So when you hit this, it doesn't matter so much where this arm is, because this arm is so deep. When this arm is that deep, even if he throws his arm over my shoulder here, it doesn't stop the strangle from working. When we go to finish the strangle, we're pulling our elbow back, bringing our body forward. A lot of times when we do it here, we'll focus on an anchor arm, okay, that's this arm around, and when we sit, we sag and finish like this. So the high wrist guillotine, the emphasis is on the position of the wrist of the strangle arm. When you're hitting a high elbow guillotine, the emphasis is on the elbow position of the support arm up here. Okay, they're both super effective, and like a lot of techniques that are similar variations of one another, you'll get a hybrid of things. Okay, sometimes you'll get like what's essentially a high wrist, but it's mostly a high elbow. Sometimes it looks like a high elbow, it's mostly a high wrist. And so like the actual kind of what it actually is doesn't matter as much as the mechanics that you're working for. If you want to do a high wrist, hand comes high like this. When you want to do a high elbow, the position of this arm not quite as important. It's mostly the emphasis on that top. So just again, one more time, high elbow, hand comes through, we sit, sag, and finish this way. High wrist, we focus on the wrist position of this hand, often an anchor grip, and then a sag to finish the strangle. So hopefully this was helpful for you, understanding the difference. If you have questions, let us know. If you have questions, let us know. You guys slow down. If you have questions, let us know. Put them in the comments below. Like and subscribe. And we've got some new stuff that we're up to. It's in the comments. If you've watched this far, thank you so much. Thank you. That's it.